Assalamu alaikum and hello to dear viewers and listeners. You are here with Isra Tanoli, the researcher. Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss about an important literary term, hyperbole. So in this video module, we are going to define hyperbole. We'll look on its example and what are the important functions that hyperbole performs in the literary works. So, firstly, going with the word history of hyperbole, from where this word hyperbole came into an English language. Basically, the origin of hyperbole can be traced back into two Greek words. Which are these two Greek words? These are hyper and volley. Hyper means behind or over, while volley means to throw or overcast. So hyperbole means to overcast, to overthrow, or overshooting. What Now we are going to define hyperbole. So hyperbole is a bold overstatement, or it is the extravagant exaggeration. It is the exaggeration of two things. What are these? It is the exaggeration of a fact or of a possibility. So it exaggerates an fact or a possibility. Hyperbole is not a real thing, so it is above the real thing. So that's why we use the word hyper. The we use the word hyper means in a term that hyper terms hyper reality. So it is a above reality, hyper reality. It is not the reality. So it uses the exaggerations. Hyperbole is used to express what are these things: despair, intrigue, or for comic effect. Hyperbole, with the use of hyperbole, the comic effect is has been created in the literary works. So now we are looking at another definition of hyperbole. Hyperbole exaggerates the aspects of reality. So it exaggerates which thing? It exaggerates the real events. It exaggerates the reality in order to achieve greater expressiveness. So in order to coin the greater expressiveness, it exaggerates the reality. Now we are looking at the example of hyperbole. So our daily life is full of hyperbolic expressions. When we see our friends after a long period of time, we usually say that I haven't seen you in a million years. So and a million here is a hyperbolic expression. It means that I haven't seen you for a long period of time. So another example of hyperbole that we have got is that the bag weighed a ton. So it doesn't mean that a ton can be, a bag weighed a ton. It means that this bag is very heavy and bulky. Another example is that my heart shrinks every time she talks. So with the talking of anybody, it seems impossible that his or her heart shrinks. But here's the my heart shrinks means that I feel uncomfortable when she talks. So it means that it is a hyperbolic expression. So with the use of hyperbole, we usually exaggerates the things. Now we are looking at some of the literary example of hyperbole. What are those example? The poet W. H. Auden used the hyperbolic expression in his famous poem "As I Walked Out One Evening." Now we are looking at the lines of the poem. The lines goes, "I shall love you, dear, I shall love you, till China and Africa meet, and the river jump over the mountain, and the Solomon sing in the street." Now you consider the punch words that the poet used as in the guise of hyperbole. So here the poet conditioned his love for his beloved, her beloved. I shall love you, dear, I shall love you. What are the conditions? These conditions are till China and Africa meet. So these are two distant parts of the world. How could China and Africa meet? another condition, and the river jump over the mountain. So it is another impossibility. So it refers to a possibility or impossibility. And the Solomon sing in the street. How could Solomon sing in the street? So these are the hyperbolic expression. So now look at another famous example of hyperbole and romantic poet William Wordsworth poem Daffodils. The lines of poems goes here: continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. They stretched, they stretched in a never-ending line. They stretched in a never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. Where now you could trace that where is hyperbole used in this in this stanza here. 10,000 saw I at a glance. How could a person can see 10,000 daffodils in a glass? It seems impossible. So it is the poetic license with the help of the use of hyperbole, a literary device. The poet has, make this picture that he had seen 10,000 daffodils at a glance. So this is the exaggeration. So another example of exaggeration or hyperbole can be, can be seen in the novel Heart of Darkness by famous post-colonial writer Conrad. He had written the sentence, "I had to wait in the station for 10 days, an eternity." Here he said that I had to wait in the station for 10 days, an eternity. How can 10 days be an eternity? It means that he had waited for 10 days, but those 10 days had been a long time for him. So that's why he used an eternity. So an eternity is a hyperbole. Now we are looking at the last section of our video. What are the functions that hyperbole performs in a literary work? So hyperbole is used for emphasizes on something. It is used to stress on something, to put a stress on some aspects of a text. It is used for creating vivid images, as in these poems we had seen in the daffodil that 10,000 saw I at a glance. So it is used for creating vivid images. It is used for creating humor, as I said that hyperbole is used for creating comic effect or humor. And fourthly, it is about hyper reality. It is not reality. It is about the reality. It is all about exaggeration. So this is all about hyperbole. Hope so you have enjoyed this video lecture. If you have enjoyed, then do subscribe this channel Israr Tanuri, the researcher, for further videos on literary terms and figure of speech. Have a nice day. Thanks.